Okay guys, so today I'm going to try out the layout collection. I did do an unboxing, the Crafter's Companion layout collection that was the today's special for October 24th on HSN. I did a whole unboxing when it came in, but today we're going to try out one of the recipes or layouts or however. So if this is still available, I'll go ahead and link in the description box. That would be an affiliate link, which means I'll make a small commission if you're purchased items to those links. And thank you guys so much for the comments you left on that last unboxing video. I had a little trouble with this guy, the binder itself opening and closing, and someone, one of my friends left comments saying that Sarah opened it and closed it with one hand, and yeah, you can, like check it out. Okay, there we go, great, but it arrived in a wonky way, and so that's why I was showing you guys in the video. I assure you I'm not that inept that I don't know how to use something like this. It just was not in the right position. So I did get some comments where like, hello, but yeah, no, if it was in the right position, it wouldn't have been a problem, but the thing arrived with this underneath, and so I talked about that on that video. I'll link that video because I did have several comments, people saying, oh my gosh, mine arrived that way, or the other special they had that was kind of like this. It was a different collection that you would do an auto ship with. Also has the same kind of binder, and apparently the people had issues then, but they didn't realize, that it was a problem with this thing, not so much that the thing just doesn't work. It was just underneath, and that's all it was. It took to repair that or to fix that, and now it works great. So I appreciate that, and I'm glad that that helped you out. So and that's kind of why I was really showing it, because I really wanted people to make sure that that was their issue, not just that it was actually broken, right? This thing doesn't really do much, but that's okay. I guess it kind of holds it back, but I mean, you can still pretty much move it anyway. So right now it's clipped down, unclip it, and it moves more loosely. So, I don't know if I should just flip to something. I mean, this one, obviously we have to make these cuts. Actually, we have the dies for that, don't we? Very simple card, though. I'm just going to pick one and then try it out. And again, the whole thing with these guys, again, this is called the layout collection. Basically means like recipes. Like I said, back in the day, I had lots of books. I still have them that are like close to my heart, creating keepsakes. There was one lady that had made hers. Oh my gosh, I have the books, but in the back you had like these little cards you can tear apart and have like a little deck of cards that you would keep in your, let's say, your scrapbooking tote, like if you're going to crops or things like that, and you would just bring out the cards. And I can't remember the woman's name, but she had two of them, and I have both volumes. But anyway, I think that was more scrapbooking. They might have had some card tutorial like patterns in there. But generally, this was an idea that people came up with for scrapbook pages, right? Because it is hard to come up with your own thing and change it up and have something nice and new every other time, or just, spice it up a little bit. So it was nice to have something like that. For a card, I mean, it's a smaller surface, it's a little different, but a lot of times things like this, like I don't think very often to put like 3 little strips of something in the background. It just gives some texture, it looks cute. There's always things like that. So maybe we'll start with something simple like that. I'm thinking though, and I don't know, I don't want to take too much time in this video today because I have other videos I gotta get to, but maybe we do this one. Maybe I'll change the imagery, I don't know. And then I follow up in the same video making the same card but with things from my own stash. So you can see basically what it is. You have a recipe, you have a little design here. A lot of companies will actually even give you the sizing. They'll say like this is a 3-inch square, whatever scallop, half-inch strips that are 6 inches tall, whatever it is. I don't think they do that with this one. We'll see. Maybe when they start talking about it. But then you just pull things from your stash that will help you achieve that, right? This look. So I think that's what we'll do. Let's say it's this one. Let's use this one today. Why not? It's very simple, but it has a little something extra. I'm gonna pop this thing open and just pull this out, just so I only have that page. And I guess I can do the same thing. Pull out these guys over here, or you can just flip through it and grab what you need, right? So let me clear up a little bit. Again, it comes with all these different items. So what I'm going to do is go into the box, pull the papers that I need, and I'll be right back. show you in the video how I went into the box and I found the paper, and I found the exact papers that they used. Funny enough, I was like, oh, they're using a dark one in the back, and I'm like looking at the instructions, and you know the colors that are in there are like pink and purple and some other colors. I thought maybe one's dark, but it says attached to a piece of black cardstock. It does not come with black cardstock, so this you will get from your own stash. Okay, so okay. And the other thing is it doesn't have card blanks, which I have tons of card blanks, and that's fine, but I don't know. I wish they would have included this. Some would have been nice. Also, I don't even want to go and look for card blanks right now, so I'm just going to make one from this. I'm looking over there, and I can see I have a ton of them from other kits from the Crafter's Companion that are 4x6, because they've been doing 4x6 for a long time. They kind of got away from the A2 size, which is interesting, a long time ago, so it's been a while. But for this, if we want a 4x6, what I'm going to do is take my A2 size paper, and we need a piece of paper that's 8x6, basically. So I'll go to 6 inches. Again, I love that the Spellbinders paper trimmer goes to 6. Like, I can just butt it up here and I already have that number. You know, it's ready to go. So 6. And then I just need to cut 1/2 inch off of this thing. So I can either go to 8 and cut it, or just use the guides here. So that's probably what I'll do. Just go to here and do 1/2 inch to take 1/2 inch off of this. And going this way, that way I don't have to open the flap. Otherwise you can open it and measure to 8. You're going to cut 1/2 inch off this other side. I just measured the 1/2 inch side, and there we go. Okay, so we're going to make a card base from this. So again, it is 6x8. We need the black piece to be cut 3.875 by 5.875. So let's do this side first, I guess. So 5. They basically want the smallest matte layer, like I like to do, which is like 1/8 of an inch, right, difference. So instead of 6 inches, you're doing 5.875. So you're looking for 5 7/8, basically. So 5 7/8 is right here. I'm just looking at the notch there, the line. So we have that. And then by 3 7/8, basically. So 3. Just before the 4 inches, 3 and actually this paper's, I used it another time and I cut that crooked. So let's bring it upside this way. 3 7/8. Right there. That looks good. And then you can line it up down here again just to make sure of your accuracy. That's accuracy. So we have that and this. I hope that's correct. Did I? Yes, okay. I was like, it looks really thin, but it's because of the 4x6. And then they're asking you, this is step 1, layer a 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 piece. So 3 3/4, and that one you can line up right on the 3 3/4 by 5 3/4. That's right here. Okay, and we can put this back in the box. That's how I do that with my pattern paper. It just goes right back in there. I know we're going to do some more cutting on the next one. We're going to cut 3 strips of colored cardstock measuring 1/2 inch by 6. Oh, how funny. When I was just eyeballing this when I was talking to you guys about it, I'm like, you know, it has, you know, strips that are like 1/2 inch by 6 inches or whatever. And that's what it is. So, all right. So from this is an 8 inch piece of paper. Now I can take this and line it up on 1/2 inch going that way, or we can cut it at 6 first, which is probably what I need to do, to be honest, because it's going to be a lot of cuts. So I'm going to cut it. Now you might have another plan for some of this paper. Maybe you want to cut it after you do your 1/2 inch strips, or cut a strip that's 1 1/2 and then cut it at 6 inches, but then you have small pieces to work with. So I'm just going to cut it at 6 inches to begin with. And now I'll cut my 1/2 inch pieces. And like I said, I'm lining it up on this side for the 1/2 inch this time. And you have that nice long piece that you can line this up on. 1/2 inch. Nope. A little static electricity. 1/2 inch. And I love the way it stays on there. And another 1/2 inch. Okay. I don't think I need anything else right now, so next thing will be to do our focal point and color and all that. So let's put that to the side. Oh, I'm so silly, you guys. Oh, see, I gotta get used to using a paper trimmer and one that has everything. I could have scored this already. So it is 6 by 8, right? Yes. So I can line this up at 4 inches, and I could have scored it already with my scoring tool. It's on here. So this is a heavyweight card stock, so I'm just gonna go up and back down. So I did it twice, and I'm telling you, that fold is so good. I can push it up against here, and just making sure everything's pretty even. And I can use my thumbs. With the card, I do like it to be nice and crisp, especially this stuff is kind of thick, so I do want to go ahead and score that. And there's my card base. I could have done that earlier, you guys. Oh my goodness. So silly. Gotta get used to using a thing that works well. So we have this guy, right? And then this other piece. So we're just gonna glue these down. Let me move these guys out of the way. Let's clean up a little bit. Unfortunately, that white paper, if I could use that for the focal point, I would, but it's just regular paper, and if I'm going to use alcohol ink markers or even watercolor, I don't know, that's the best option to do that on. So we have this guy. So already our recipe is coming together. I know I heard comments, people left comments like, aren't these free online? Like, yeah, I mean, obviously there's card ideas everywhere. I would have loved for them to have the recipes like you normally see when people do this, where, like I said, where they tell you the size right on there. Close to My Heart does this whenever you buy like their workshop kits. It always has the image and it tells you exactly there what you need to cut. It even tells you how to cut your papers to maximize them, right? For the most part. Okay. As far as the dragonflies, on the next step, it says stamp the dragonflies onto white cardstock and color them as desired. Die cut a square around them. So that's what they're showing you in the next step. This is funny. The little nails on this person, they're grown out. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. All right, let's see here. We are gonna put these down. Now, it doesn't really tell you where. You know, again, a lot of other recipe things will show you like where these measurements might be, where it goes. So we're just gonna eyeball that part of it. So we have our beautiful little strips that are cut really nicely. My new trimmer there. Let's just say, I'm gonna go about 1/2 inch in, you know, from the end, maybe 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so that's my first one, about 3/4 of an inch from here. And they look like they're kind of close together. You can definitely use a T-square if you're afraid, but basically once you have the one down, the other two are just going to go next to it. And that one. And this one. I would say it's about 1/8 of an inch. And our last one. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to go with it can be any focal point. It doesn't have to be dragonflies. It can be whatever you like. Oh, the little teapot's cute, but I might just copy it exactly that way you guys have an idea what that looks like in real life. So just a little bit. That is what our card base looks like. And a good recipe, sometimes, well, I say good, you can also turn it the other way and it like this or like this, and it still makes sense, you know? And that, I think it could, if you did it this way and put the square here and then your little sentiment, you know, something to think about. Okay, let me grab alcohol ink marker paper here. I don't know how big that square is. It doesn't really tell you, because you know in the kit there are squares. It doesn't say which one to use or anything, so that's fine. That's kind of a bummer. Again, the sizing is important, but that's how they did it. So let's see. I'm just trying to see if I do want to use these. Let me open this up. What about if we just do a butterfly? No, should I? Okay, fine. I'll use this shape for you guys. Again, I don't know how big the square is or where these guys should even really be stamped, because it doesn't give you that info. So we're gonna eyeball it. It's obviously a square die that's smaller than the scallop square, but there are different scallop squares in the kit. So let's just put that one here. And this one here. And I'll just give it some room, right? So we have that. I need a hybrid ink so I can do my alcohol ink coloring. It looks like they might have used watercolors. It just says to stamp in color. Obviously, it's whatever you like to use. These are acrylic stamps, so firm, even pressure, but not too hard. That is really cute. Like, it's nice and crisp, so that's good. Now, generally, you probably should wipe this off because it still has some ink on it. But I'm going to be very careful to kind of try to make this the same as what they did there. I don't know. Like here. Sure. See how the ink ghosted there? So just make sure. That you do that very carefully if you don't wipe it off. Nice. Okay. So I'm gonna let that dry just a bit because you can't, with hybrid inks, you want them to dry really well before you go in and start coloring because it can smear. You can definitely go into watercoloring already. But, ooh, sounds great. All right. I'll put this back and I'll be right back. So since I don't really know what colors those are, and they're not even colors that I would feel go with that background paper, it is very different. It does go with this like bluish paper here. I don't know. So I'm gonna grab these greens that I have, these Nouveau, kind of a desert green. I don't know. I thought they might go. It's a little mossy, I guess. And then I didn't do the other color yet. So let's say that palm violets, maybe lavender sky, wild iris. Okay, so I'm gonna look in here and grab those colors that it's mentioning for like a purpley color. Wild iris, lavender sky. Oh, it's right next to it. Okay. And blueberry muffin. Cute names. Let's see. Blueberry muffin. I don't know. We'll see if that works. All right, let's try those out. And again, I don't even know which one's the light color on this. I'm assuming grape, sage, and then the darker one. So what they did is they colored the body one and then the wings on the other and then switch those colors. So let's go for it. So let's do this one, maybe right on the outside edge. So it looks like a little bit of shadow, leaving some white. That's the lightest color. I'll go into my darkest color. Let me close up just a little bit. Again, you're still got to make choices, which is fine. That's the whole recipe thing, has to do with like just giving you something that's going to, what's the word? Somewhere to start, basically. But you would think that they have a little more information for some of this. Okay, so now the medium color. Just gonna pull some of this guy out. And then back to the very lightest color. And then I'll do the other body the same, but with the purple colors, or whatever that ends up being, I don't know. That's really cute. Okay, and then the wings. You know, I mean, wings are usually kind of see-through. To be honest, if I was doing this and I wasn't following what they did, I would just put some blue on the wings just so it looks like I colored them, but didn't think too much of it, you know, because they're very light, something like that, and just leave it at that. But we're going to do what they did. So that's my lightest color, and again, come in with the darker, maybe just in here, maybe a little bit there. Go with the medium color and blend some of that out. I'm really kind of concentrating here, not really coloring the wings all that much. And then go back to the lightest color. And so we've been having dragonflies this season. Like, I don't really notice dragonflies around here a lot. And there was a huge one in my front yard, and the poor thing was like struggling. It had just fallen down. And it was like this big. No lie. I was like, I guess I've never really seen them up close. I see them when I go to the Safari Zoo Park because they have like a little pond there that's really cute. But I was just like, wow, I don't know if it's our weather now or something, but they're out and about. Let's see. Now I'll do the purplish color again. I'll just do it really quick. Well, not the whole thing, just some. I'll put color where I feel like. That's the lightest. Then I'll go into the darker one and just again a little bit here and there. You know how I do. Go into the medium color, which is this one. And then I'll do the same thing for the wings. Color those guys in, and hopefully that coordinates. I don't know. I mean, we just had to get those from our own stash. I didn't color the eyes, I just noticed. I might come in with like a, I don't know. They colored it the same color as whatever's going on. Okay, let's do that. Let's just use like the medium color. And on the other one, I'll also just do the medium color on the little eyeballs. Okay? And Now I'll color the wings the same way, but with the purples. And I'll be back. Finish that up, and I hope they are the right size for whatever we're supposed to pull from here. Now, of course, you could have just chosen your square, cut it, and then did the stamping. That will give you another way of kind of knowing that you're stamping in the right area. So let's open this guy up, and it was a circle, and I'm assuming it was a bigger circle, and oh, it's not a circle. What am I talking about? It's a square. It's a square. Okay, so we have this set, and I'm gonna assume that's what we're using because it goes almost to the end of the things. So let's bring this guy, and then we need the purple paper also. Again, I'll pop this pattern paper back in here. All the little bits. We need a piece of this purple. And I can pop this sagey color back in here. Where was it? Ugh, I usually put it in with the same color, but we're just gonna put that away now. You know, there are embossing folders in here too, so like there's other ways of playing this up. So behind our little focal point, you could emboss that scalloped square, you know, it doesn't have to be just plain. And again, you know, it looks like it's the smaller one, and for me, for a finer look, I would have used the bigger one. So, you know, I'm trying to make it look really like what's on this example, but I think I kind of like it better with that smaller bit of purple. I don't know. It just looks like a lot of excess the other way. Now, there's another set of square dies in this kit, and like I said, I haven't put them on the little carrier. They're still in the box. But, I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going to end up cutting that. And if I use a smaller one, I'm going to cut even more away, which is fine. More like pattern paper, you know. If I use this guy, I'm just going to use this one. And still cut away a little bit of this guy's little booty and that guy's wing. And I just need some of this. So again, cut your square first, do your stamping. I honestly don't see how much closer I can get these guys to look like this. They're pretty close already, right? I mean, look at the separation there. Maybe this guy needs to be more straight. I don't know. I'm just trying to make it look as much as I can, like the picture there, so you guys have that in mind there. So we're gonna cut that, put this back where it belongs, and then again, that's for my own stash. And then this guy, we're running through this purple, and so I'll just run those through my die cutting machine, and I will be right back. Just run through the marquee. Okay, guys, so we have this guy. And this guy. And I think it was like this. Something like that. I kind of like the way it bleeds off. That's actually really cute. A little more organic, which is the kind of thing I like. Okay, so as far as that, it says layer the dragonflies to step 3 onto a larger scallop square. Use 3D foam pads to attach to the card front. Okay, that's what I figured. I was like, they're probably gonna want you to pop it up for that dimension, texture, something different. Again, if you're gonna have it this wide, like if you are using the second to the smallest die, I would definitely run that through an embossing folder so you can see the purple but have some texture, or even the strips, you can run those through an embossing folder also. But okay, we have that. I don't remember right now if there's foam adhesive in the kit. Do you guys remember? I don't think so. So I'm just going to turn that over and add my own anyway. And here, and here, and here, and here. And I'm going to take the carriers off, guys. I'll be right back. So then you're supposed to take this and pop it kind of up here. It doesn't really tell you where, but you know, centered up towards the top somewhere. I feel like that's too far over this way. Nope, a little more this way. And it's a little too high, I think. That looks good. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Pretty. Nice composition, I think. And then last thing is to stamp the thank you, which is again on that stamp set. So I'm just going to, is it this one? Oh yeah. Just a very plain thank you here. Very small and kind of tight. And actually maybe I can even stamp it on this paper so I don't waste this paper. I'm going to just stamp it freehand. And what my plan is to put music on after this and make my own with my things from my own stash. And you'll see that, you know, you have the recipe and you can just do whatever you like. Now, that really sucked up that ink. Again, these are acrylic. They're a little soft. A little too soft there, possibly on that one, because it really pushed in there. I'll clean that up and clean that off in just a minute. And then we need the die for that, which I don't think I have. Yeah. No, I do have it. What I mean is I don't have it on the carrier yet. I showed in the unboxing how you can put your dies on the magnetic sheet. And I just want to make sure it wasn't that set that I used. It was a set of tags. So, again, you would go to your binder, I suppose, if you already had these things on your binder. And let's see. That's not it. Is it this one? It's... Where's my recipe card? Oh yeah, it's that one. Okay. So the other thing about recipes is, you know, you have that square. Okay, if you have a circle that's like the same size, you can use a circle. It's just kind of giving you the idea of where these things need to be so it looks right. You can intersperse those with other shapes and it should still look good. You know, it's proportions, I guess, is what we're talking about. Even though it doesn't really tell you some of the sizing, you're eyeballing at that point. For this one, we're using this guy. Oh my gosh, these are really sturdy. Don't break my nails. I almost did. I think it did. Oh well. All right. That's good. Kind of chipped it there. And so I'm just going to eyeball where this needs to be and kind of centered up and down and hopefully left to right. I'm going to run that through a die cutting machine and I'll be right back. Okay, we have that. And then it says to go ahead and pop these up too. So I have a little strip here. And this one's actually a little bit higher than the foam I used before, so it'll give it a little bit different dimension. And look at that, like perfect. Now generally I would try to, maybe we should cut this. Give it a little more support at the very tip there. Ah, did it stick already? No, there we go. Kind of tore a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. Squish that down and then place it over in this area. Well, let's turn it back over. It's kind of here with my little strips. That's a little bit crooked. Let's go like here. There we go. Okay, that one's a little bit higher up than the pads I use here. And then it says to finish it off with 3 little gems, which I didn't even notice. And it just says complete the card, embellish with the bottom right corner with 3 gems as shown. And I don't know if those gems are colored. It looks like they are, but they might just be clear. But I don't think we have clear gems in here, so they must be colored. And it doesn't tell you which size of them either. They look like the bigger ones. I mean, obviously this is not to scale, but it looks like it's these larger ones. So I guess we'll do that. I kind of would like to use the smaller ones. So again, some of these things are just eyeballing, and like I think these 3 smaller ones look cute, but they're using the bigger ones. I think it looks finer with the smaller ones, like a little more refined, but that's okay. All right, let's go Try to get this off of here. Oopsie. And where are they? Just, I'm gonna put one kind of there, and then I'll go one up and one below that. And like one here. And again, the colors aren't quite what we used in the card, but that's okay. They're kind of blue when I didn't really use blue on my card at all. Put that guy back. And there it is. So a card created following the recipe, following, you know, kind of the step-by-step that they're giving. You had to get some things from your stash and kind of eyeball some of the sizings. Again, I used the larger one on here. You can definitely tell they used the smaller one there. What I'm going to do next is just make the same card, but with things from my stash. And we can compare the two, okay? So I will grab some items and I'll be right back. Desktop, and that's what I was like, oh, I'll base my card off this, you know. And then I went to look for something that was like bluish, and I found this hunky-dory Whopper Topper pad, and I'm like, I'm sure there's something in here because of all the different colors and birds and everything. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll just cut this guy out, you know, looks great. But then he has his own sentiments, so I just went with that instead. But I mean, you know, you can switch that with that guy. Super cute. So again, a recipe is something you follow. Again, this one doesn't really have the sizing for you, like the actual measurements, but you can eyeball that. So on this one, I just paired up with some paper that was from a whole different thing. It was from this Sunflower Kisses set from Studio Light that I had reviewed not too long ago that I picked up on HSN. So I thought that green actually really brings out what's going on here, so I used that as the background paper. I still did black paper in the background. There happened to be a blue piece of paper that I already cut into in that pad, so I just used that for the strips. I did go ahead and run this through an embossing folder so it has more texture, and then we have our little kingfisher and family there. And then I did the birthday wishes, and then these guys, some enamel dots, right? And this is what we kind of patterned that off of, which of course was the recipe here that you have your little layout. And I mean, What do you think, guys? I mean, that's the whole thing of these guys, because honestly, I get a little stale sometimes too, or there's, layers I don't think about, or other things that you can definitely do that just bring your card to another level. Like, I probably would have done something like this without those strips, and maybe this just centered here, right? So this gives it a little more style. Again, I kind of followed along, just a little something here, or maybe that can be a circle next time, or whatever, right? Or maybe some of those zigzag strips that you have made from LGS Creative, and you add those instead of straight lines. It's just a way of having good proportions that make a nice balanced card. This guy comes all the way across almost over here. Mine cuts a little bit short because of what it was, but I mean, I could have stamped something and used that same die, right? But it still gives a nice proportion. It's kind of interesting. The reason I feel like this doesn't look lopsided to me is because you have these guys here. It kind of pulls it over anyway with the strips instead of being centered under the actual image, right? But you can also center it, and that would look nice too, So just something to think about, something to get your creative juices flowing, especially when you get in a little bit of a rut, which we all do all the time, here and there, right? So just something to look at and try out, and I think that did well. I mean, again, a simple card. It has a lot of layers. It has a lot going on if you really do look at it. And yeah, so thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Let me know. I know a few y'all picked this up already. If you've tried yours out, if you've even received it yet. I know I always get mine pretty quickly whenever they send things out of the kind of like Los Angeles area. I get it in a day or two. So there is supposedly going to be one more not free shipping, sorry, $7.50 shipping craft cart tomorrow. It was supposed to be every Tuesday in October, so hopefully that's the case, because there are a few other items I wanted to pick up. I did order some items yesterday, even some Anna Griffin things that I'm like, how did that escape me? I guess it was items for the Create event that were kind of like separate items or piecemeal. I only picked up what I really, really want, and then I want to see if after the Create event, they put the box like half price on at a site, and hopefully it'll be there. It may not be. It's just a gamble I'm going to take, and if not, I guess I can pick up piecemeal items. But for now, I am going to wait for those to come in, so hopefully those will be in before your Create event. I'm not doing the whole event. I was kind of going back and forth with that, especially because you guys asked if I was going to be doing it or attending, and probably not. I usually the crop at home is the one I usually do. It's a little more right up my, I don't know. It's just, I would say right up my alley, but something I like to attend. The other one I haven't done. I don't know. We'll see. As far as getting it later, but not, I won't be at the event. Let's just say there's just too much going on too right now. I wouldn't even take advantage of those days to be in the chat or to be, watching in a timely manner. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope that gave you some idea. Again, you take those proportions, make your own card from your own stash after you're, run out of these papers and things like that. All right, well, I will see you all at the next one. Images are coming up. The links will be in the description box, and have a good day. Bye now.